Back on Hollywood Boulevard, the next person I had to meet was an actor who had turned his hand to many different jobs in a bid to make it over here. Jim Neville was especially interesting, as at one time he worked for the Hollywood press. I was intrigued to know more about this side of the town.
When I got into production, I was always back in the trailer getting the footage, so yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. When I moved out here, acting was always the plan, and you have to find a job that'll give you a means to an end, and I sort of fell into that, and then I got trapped into that. So if you want to be an actor, remember that. Don't get trapped into a job. But yeah.
You lose your freedom.
You do. But the thing is working in entertainment news, I was confronted up close and personal with A-list celebrities, you know, and you start to look at things differently. You start to look at it as a business, and there's not the whole deer in the headlights thing, you know what I mean? And so, in a way, it was a mixed blessing, you know what I mean? So obviously the goal is to make your living entirely on doing that, but you gotta have patience and you gotta be hard-headed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If you were to give someone some hints and tips, what would those be?
Wow. You know how they say that there's never only one way? I think today, the best thing that's happening right now is that you can choose your struggle. Meaning, when I first came out here, I had to mail out my headshots. I had to hope to get into casting calls. I had to hope to, you know, get an agent to like me. People are cutting movies on their laptops today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And really, at the end of the day, you can write yourself a role that it'd take years to get an opportunity to even audition for. And if you just sort of knuckle down and learn how to run a camera, learn how to, you know, maybe write music, whatever, edit, and that kind of stuff, at the end of the day, a motion picture, at least in this country, is looked upon as a product. And if there's an audience for your product, sell it.
Yeah.
You know, and you can make a living doing that. So, you know, it's cool because in choosing your own struggles, you can drive all over town and try to get into auditions, or you can just start hitting the ground running, making your own movies. So that would be something that I would have everybody seriously consider, because there's only a billion people out here trying to be an actor or a director, and really the marketplace is just saturated with people. So, you know, be an island of your own and start doing your own thing.
It transpired that Jim was involved in the same project that Sarah had told me about earlier, an independent feature called Rite of Passage. So how did he get involved in that film?
You know,
yeah, please. Yeah, tell me how you auditioned and how you got into getting the role and what the role's all about.
Yeah, well, actually, I wrote that. I wrote a 30-page short story, and I passed it along to my good friend Chris Dickerson, who's an accomplished playwright. One of the best experience that I ever had doing theater in LA, by far, was Deadline, the play that we did together. Right. And he's got, you know,
and Chris Dickerson wrote that.
He wrote that, yeah, and directed us. So it was, you know, and he's got a really great body of work.
Chris Dickerson, someone I wanted to talk to for sure.
I took a crack at writing, and I wanted to write myself a role, and you know, that pretty much came out of the fact that you can pound on doors for years and hope to get the opportunity, or you can just start doing it to play a role that you want to play. So I took a crack at it and I slid it across to Chris, and he actually liked it. And from there, we brought a couple other guys that got interested in it. We decided to turn it into a feature. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you can try to penetrate the Hollywood system and whatnot, or you can really today, you can really do your own. We're going completely outside the industry, and you know, I don't have any ill will or hostility towards, you know, the big studios or anything, but I want to be able to do what I want to do.
Yeah. And you'll find a way to do it.
Yeah, and I will avoid them if I need to. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'd be happy to work with them, but at the same time, I want to go in a straight line from A to B. I don't want to have to all of a sudden get stopped down and have somebody say, well, you know, we'd really like this actress in the role or this actor in the role, and change everything around. You know, so that's why I'm a big proponent of just taking the reins and doing it yourself. You know,
by the horns. I loved how Jim had shifted the Hollywood goalposts, scoring with what he wanted to achieve, something that became typical to hear.